Hi, I'm good, Mike. Thank you. How are you?
Great. Very nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too. And such a pleasure to be able to talk to you about this film because I loved watching it. And, I know you've put together an incredible cast, but of course, you got Ralph Fiennes leading the charge. So, what did it mean to you, to bring him into the fold, to see him earn that Best Actor recognition and the way he's just supported the film ever since it's obviously come out in theaters?
Oh, I mean, it's wonderful, and it's such a wonderful moment. My fellow producer Tessa Ross had optioned the book in 2016 after reading like three chapters, and she actually is the one who brought Rafe in. I got the pleasure of sort of coming into a film that already had, a wonderful script, Ed Berger and Ray Fiennes. So and what I do is I kind of bridge that gap between creative vision and what everybody wants to make and how do we actually make that with the time and money we have. And that, it's that problem solving to say, how do we do it, which I think we did very successfully on the film. It looks beautiful. It doesn't look like we spared any expense. Um, and so, to come in at that point and have Rafe involved and then see him working, you know, on set every day, it's amazing. I mean, he came prepared, thoughtful, ready to work. And he's a very, very generous actor with his fellow actors. He gives a lot to for others to work with as well. It's just phenomenal. And I love that, I love his nominations and the awards he's winning. So well deserved. And he's been just an enormous cheerleader for the film. And I'm just very excited for him. Um, and so thrilled to have been to have him on that team. With
Absolutely.
really kind of an all-star team. So, we did pretty well.
Yeah, well, like I said, a phenomenal performance from Rafe, and this is such an exciting film, and who knew that people casting votes could be so edge of your seat when you're watching some of those scenes. But how proud were you of what Edward came up with and the tension he puts into this film, and the fact it is such an edge of your seat experience in a lot of ways.
I mean, this is Edward's movie. This is him creating that tension again, as you said, out of voting and talking and voting and talking, and you're on your edge of your seat the whole time. And as a producer, I'm like, Ed, 9 votes. We're gonna film 9 different votes. He's like, no, no, it's fine. I got it. I know what I'm gonna do with it. I'm like, yeah, okay. You have to have, as the movie does, you have to have faith. And he had a vision for it. It was clear. Um, and he really delivered on that vision. It's, not to say we didn't screen it and have lots of interactions and suggestions and ideas on how we're going to do it, but that intense leadership, creative core and style are Ed Berger at his best and just phenomenal.
Absolutely. And, like the book, the film has an ending, I think, that's really bold and brilliant. Not something anyone's going to see coming if they're not familiar with the book, of course. But how important was it for you as a producer to protect that and make sure that was still part of the story that obviously Robert Harris told in his book?
Yeah, very much so. It was. I think we always intended to stay close to, true to the book in many ways. Peter Straughn's brilliant screenplay, took, all of that information and turned it into, I don't know, a love fest of dialogue and interesting exchanges and beautiful moments. And I think it was important. Also, it's important to me. What was really important to the movie was we have this character Benitez that comes out of nowhere, right?
Hmm.
And so everyone, starts to go, okay, well, he must be important. Otherwise, why is he in this movie? We also did a worldwide search for him as an actor because we didn't want the other actors to know him and we didn't want the audience to know him. So we really didn't want anyone to know anything about him. Um, that worldwide search resulted in him, no one else. There was only one that actually rose to the top that worked. The face and the character and the voice and the bearing. Um, but what's fun about it is we get you to in start to try to figure it out, right? Everyone wants to figure out a mystery, and some people were surprised by him being elected pope. Some people were, it was a total shock. Some people were ahead of it, and were like, okay, I see this coming. And what was wonderful about that moment is then it happens, and everyone thinks, oh, that's the twist. Everyone relaxes, their guards down, and then we have another twist, which gets everyone because no one sees it coming because we've already let you, we've given you your little, oh, I figured it out moment, and then you have it.
Yeah, it's so incredible, and it really makes this a film that you're not going to soon forget. And there's such a temptation, I think, with novels like this, where they are adapted and serialized into TV. And I can imagine a Conclave TV series that would have been fantastic, but it's a phenomenal feature as well. And so, for you as a producer, why is it important to make sure a film like this is seen theatrically and just doesn't become, just another streaming TV series?
Um, my, I've been doing this for 35 years, and in my heart, film is successful when people go to see it in the theaters. When people talk
Absolutely.
about it, when people get out of their house and go to the theaters, actively engage with that experience. I think it's a different experience when you're sharing it with 150 strangers or more in a room and you're hearing other people react and someone laughs at something you didn't laugh at and you're like, oh, that's interesting. That could have been a funny moment. And you hear people gasp at something that you're feeling, but like they get a visceral, loud response, applaud at a curtsy from Isabella at the right moment. We didn't know that would get that kind of reaction when we were in our own bubble. We just thought, oh, it's a great moment, but we didn't realize how it would resonate. So for me, like that theatrical experience really, really matters. And we got half our audience in the US was over 55. We got a group of people to the theaters that many distributors had given up on getting into the theaters. Um, so they went. And then we got the other half. We got, young people who just responded to the thriller and the politics and, started creating all these really cool memes, which some of which I understood and some of which I have no idea. But um, that's thrilling to me to know that we're appealing to a large cross section of people enough that they get out of their house and go to a movie. And I think we're close to like 92, $93 million worldwide now, box office, theatrical box office. And that's great, you know.
Yeah, an amazing achievement. And when you get the memes, you've made that cultural impact as well, of course. But
Yeah.
heading into the Academy Awards, obviously Best Actor, Best Supporting Actress, Best Editing, Best Adapted Screenplay, Original Score, Production Design, Costume Design. Amazing lineup of talent being recognized there. But how rewarding has it been for you to see that sort of response critically and, as you say, from audiences as well?
Oh, it's incredible. I mean, it's truly living the dream. Like this is the dream when we all start out in this industry. You hope someday, you work on something that gets this kind of recognition, and then, to have 8 nominations is mind-blowing, and it couldn't be better. I mean, this is truly uh, a thrilling moment and a highlight, and I'm just trying to be in it and enjoy it, and I truly I think it's a cliche at this point, but it's sometimes cliches are cliches because they're very true. The nomination is a win. Like
Yeah.
the win would be lightning striking twice, but to have been nominated for, amongst our peers for all of these awards, is that's that it's we already won. So very happy with this moment.
Oh, well, congratulations, Mike. I'm wishing you the best of luck, all of you, with the film, because I thought it was the film of 2024. So I look forward to seeing how it does at the Oscars. And thank you so much for taking the time today, because it's been a real pleasure to talk to you about this one.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time.
Great to meet you. Thanks again, and congratulations.
Thanks.